Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Um, so, when you think you're close to getting a problem solved, you wind up having an issue again with the exact same problem. So, if you've looked at any of my previous videos, as you know, I built this low cost buffing setup um, for polishing guitar bodies. I did all of this for under $100. The problem when you go on the cheap, 9 times out of 10, regardless of how much work you put into it, it's gonna run cheap. You get what you pay for. And I'm not talking about I'm not talking about the buffing wheels. I mean, I've been able to polish up some test pieces with these buffing wheels, and they did a pretty good job. But I'm just talking about uh, the operation of the buffer in general. I have struggled with this thing. Tried to get this all threaded rod somewhat straight. If you've seen the previous videos, this is actually the second all threaded rod that I've purchased, because the first one that I purchased, to keep costs down even further, I tried running this buffing machine on a 2-foot shaft, and I think honestly, part of the reasons why that did not work out too well, I think running at anywhere from 718 to 1,000 RPMs it's a little too much on the shaft. I don't know, but I'm usually a pretty positive person. I always stay strong in my faith. I I always say the Lord has everything, and He does. And the Lord should always direct your steps, and I know He'll direct my steps on this. But I am at a point with this machine where I'm seriously considering tearing the whole thing down and starting from scratch. Now, the nice thing is I can reuse all the lumber. It's not an issue of having to go out and purchasing more parts. But the problem that I'm having right now is there. I've tried my best to try to straighten this rod out, and it's gotten to the point where I'm about ready to just. I'm not giving up, but I'm to the point where I'm just gonna spend the extra money and just buy um, a benchtop buffer. But I really don't want to do that, because to get a good quality one, you're talking anywhere from $500 on up, and for somebody who's not going to be polishing guitar bodies every other day of the week, I just think that is such a waste of money, because I don't do anything else with this buffer. I don't polish metal. You know, I don't have a woodworking business where I polish up, other clear coat finishes. I just mainly strictly designed this buffer to just strictly buff the clear coats on guitar bodies. And it's getting to the point where I'm about ready to just scrap this whole design. Now, if you follow the YouTube channel called The Next Project, I was bringing up to John, the owner of the channel, some of my issues with this all threaded rod, and it's a 3/4 diameter shaft. It's 3 foot in length. John prefers using a 1 foot diameter shaft, and I've brought up some of my concerns to him, and he basically, with these all threaded rods, it is what it is. You get what you get. You go to these big box stores and you grab one off the shelf and you roll it on the floor, or you try to roll it on a flat surface, thinking that maybe the rod is straight. But then when you get it home and you try to implement it into whatever project you have going on, come to find out it's not as straight as you think it is. So I was bringing up my concerns to John, and John said that basically he had to take his rod and balance it on 2 flat surfaces. And he said he literally, to get it to where he needed it, he had to jump on the thing, jump up and down on the bar a bunch of times. Honestly, I don't want to do all that. So, I mean, and yeah, so these are my options right now. One, I could do just that. I could rip this thing apart, put it between 2 flat surfaces, try to jump up and down on it and try to straighten this thing out the best I can. But there's no guarantee that's going to fix it. Option 2, I could go out and purchase another threaded rod. But the problem with that is there's no guarantee that rod's going to be straight. And then the third and final option, to reuse all of the components that I have here. The only other really option that I have is ordering a precision shaft. And I'm telling you right now, I mean, yeah, I could order it from McMaster, but the problem is, by the time it's all said and done, I would probably be about halfway to the point of just going out and getting the StewMac buffer. So I don't know. I'm totally on the fence of what to do here. I mean, I thought that this pedestal buffer would be very, very sturdy, but the problem with the shaft not being straight, I'm getting at the top of the frame here, it's shaking like crazy. Now, yeah, I could maybe make some cross beams. I could remove these toolboxes and make some cross beams to try to make this thing, more sturdy. But the problem with that is I don't even know if I don't want to put any more time into trying to brace this thing down if it's not even going to work. I mean, I have locking casters for the wheels, so there's no issue of the buffer bouncing around all over the place, because even when I don't have the wheels locked, there's no issue with that at all. So I'm at a point here where I don't know. Because even if I tear this thing down and try to turn it into a benchtop buffer, there's still no guarantee that I'm going to be able to do anything with repairing the wobble in the shaft. Now, what I could do, and this might help or it might not help, I don't know. The only other option that I could see, if I wind up tearing this thing down, the only other option would be taking the pillow block bearings and maybe try to move them down as close to the buffing wheels as possible. I think Chris at Highline Guitars did that, and it seemed to help a lot. But the only thing about that is he doesn't use a 3/4 inch shaft. He uses a 1 1/4 inch shaft, and he got his shaft from McMaster. So I really just don't know what to do here. And the only thing I can really say is if anybody has any ideas, how we could possibly fix this issue, could you please just drop them in the comments below? Because like I said, I put so much time and work into this thing. And I mean, I'm not a carpenter. I'm not a carpenter. Never claimed to be. I'm not a mechanical engineer. I'm not. I don't work in a machine shop. Somebody even said, "Well, could you maybe take the shaft to a machine shop and maybe they could straighten it out for you?" Yeah, probably after paying $300, they wouldn't have a problem doing it. And I only paid like a whole $15 for the shaft. So paying $300 to correct a $15 problem isn't too smart in my book. So if anybody has any ideas, could you please drop them in the comments below, and I will get back with you as soon as I can. Because like I said, I don't honestly know. I mean, the buffer is running enough to where if I needed to buff out a clear coat finish, I could do it. But it's not going to run at optimum performance. So that's going to be it for this video. If you have any comments, just leave them down below. Any ideas, any suggestions at all, guys, I would really appreciate it. Because like I said, I'm trying to nip this problem in the butt, but the way it's looking right now, I'm at a total impasse, and I don't know what to do. So thank you so much, guys. Appreciate your time. Take care of yourself. Take care of others, and we will see you next time.